Yo, what's popping? So finally, taking a look at the supports for the Midseason Madness, going to rank them like based on their entire performance so far. Going to start off with the top of APAC. So Nisha, Nisha's been solid, I'd say, but not like either way, not like exceptional or not like hurting Chengdu at all. Just been like solid, and that's kind of what you want from Nisha. I don't remember Chengdu trying too much like double flex support, so can't really judge him based off of his Zenyatta or anything because they've just been on the ball mostly. So I think like he played a little bit, but from what I remember, not that much. So I think a solid B to start. We'll see where that goes. Monk, I'm kind of feeling like that as well for Monk. I think Monk's been a little bit better probably than Nisha, but his Zens look great sometimes. But like that's not where Chengdu's strength has been. I think leaving them in B tier is probably good enough for me. Xerneas has not played yet. Formerly Revolto. Neither has Farway. Right? Or wait, no, Farway has played. I'm stupid. Oh, actually, I remember him doing quite well. I think I'm gonna put Farway above Monk. That might be a bad. No, I don't think I can do that. Actually, I don't think I can because the thing about Farway is he's looked really good sometimes on the charge, but he also like hasn't because the Charge are like a bad team. Like they've been playing pretty bad. Like there's been times where he's been able to like I remember on Dorado B defense, he was just like doing so much on the Zen, and he was making them look like a little bit competitive sometimes. But that's not a consistent thing. So I feel like right with Nisha and Monk should be good, but not too much past that. Super Rich. I think Super Rich has been better than Nisha. And I'll put him above that because I think his break's been so good. I don't know. Something about his break has been going crazy on it. He's just been living so well. He's been able to just walk onto the enemy team when he has to, walk onto the point and win. So I'm considering an A, but I think a B is solid right now. And then Irony has been decent, but nothing like crazy. I'm thinking above Farway again. This is probably because the teams are just like Spark is just a better team, but I'm thinking like this is looking decent right now. And the Lengza, I think Lengza is like pretty bad, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge Lengza enjoyer at all. His beats have been not there sometimes, just not like an exceptional player. I'm looking at D right now. I'm thinking D because supports are often harder to judge because like when they're doing really bad, it doesn't look as bad as like a DPS not killing things or a tank just dying. It's more nuanced than that. So maybe I'll start with D, see where that goes, and like there's a chance that I could put like Irony and Farway there as well. Next is Molly. I think Molly's been good, but not great. That's kind of like what I'm feeling from a lot of these support lines in APAC. Is like they've been like pretty like indistinguishable from each other until you get to like Creative and Dame. Inbred Fixa probably. I'm thinking like above Farway probably. I know Farway's had like that pop off potential. He's been hitting it, but at the same time, it's like it's just like too far. It's too few and far between kind of thing, you know. But I think Molly has looked decent at times, but not like good enough. Probably thinking about Molly and Farway going in C. Yeah, I think that has to be. I think Farway will improve with this new charge, but right now it's going there. Fixa has been pretty bad. I think his beats have been really bad, like at all times. He's been engaging with them too hard. He's been having them too late, and normally his beats are not like what you need in any certain fight, kind of thing. Like they're always like a little off, whether it be too forward or too far back. I am willing to put him above Langza. Is D tier a little too harsh? Maybe, because he has had some pop-off play. I'm going to try and stick him C tier for now, but D tier is looking kind of likely. And Aim God is going right with him. AimGod has just been spawn dying, right? AimGod and Fixa have both been on Death Simulator a lot of the times against the better teams. And I'm just, and like AimGod looked a little bit good in the tournament, right? He had some moments where he was killing things, but that's when Philly was losing. Whenever AimGod had to step up. I'm very close to putting them both in D tier, but I'll keep them one step ahead for now, but definitely looking to go down. Now, Creative is honestly taking a step back this tournament. I'm thinking right now, is this above Monk, though? And maybe, but also, like, maybe, actually. Nah, I think Creative is going to go A anyway, just because. So yeah, I'm thinking A for Creative, probably. Could see Monk being better right now, but I think with Creative and what he did in the kickoff clash and how good he was there, I like A tier. And now Vindame is going to S tier for me. I think Vindame has been fantastic, right? You've seen him be probably the best main support across both regions, I would argue. And then his Zenyatta in the double flex support was just super good. You wouldn't expect him to be main support at all. I think Vindame's been spectacular, and it's going to be straight up to S tier for me. Yeah, it looks good. So now Lee Jae-gon has not been the same Lee Jae-gon we've seen, I think. Definitely not, like, as... I can't think of the word. Like, robust. Yeah, that's a good one. Has not been as robust as we've seen. Lee Jae-gon Tower, like, hasn't been a thing this season, even though people are still saying it. And honestly, I'm putting Lee Jae-gon below Nisha and Super Rich. Probably, like, there. I think this is fair. Because I like what we expect from Lee Jae-gon, the super aggressive plays, kind of like somewhat inting, but still getting value. It's not like been there. Like there's still been like kind of aggressive plays, but he hasn't been getting nearly as much value on it as some other aggressive main supports. And it's just like not, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. You expect more because I don't think his playstyle is like specifically changed, but it just hasn't been there. Now Izayaki. Izayaki's a little bit harder to also gauge, but I don't think he's been that pop off either. Like, I'm just gonna put him below Irony even. I think I don't know. I expect so much more from this backline. They were like the best backline in Overwatch 1 pretty much, and whatever it is, like Shanghai as a whole, they have not clicked in the same way at all, and it's really shocking because it's not like the mechanics. It can't be. So what is it? I'm not entirely sure what it is, to be honest. But they've just not been having that same impact. No, Bebe is going right to D tier. I don't know why he's even on this roster. I guess they wanted a double flex support. Lee Jae-gon can't do it. He's come in for like Circuit Royale. But outside of that, they've looked bad. And even their Circuit Royale doesn't look good except for Lip being that guy. So, I don't know. Bebe's just not... He's smiling. So maybe he's bringing smiling to the team, but that's it, really. I'm gonna start with OG now. I think OG's been great. Wait, before I do that, let me look at this APAC tier list one more time. Is Creative really the only A tier? Like, can I really not put any of these guys up? I don't think so. It's so hard, but like, I almost want to put Monk and Super Rich into A, but then I'm like, but like not really at the same time. This is like APAC's kind of a team, like a region of kind of underwhelming supports. It looks like right now, if that makes sense. And it's weird because like Molly can pop off, Faraway can pop off, Izayaki can pop off. We've seen Monk play well. We've seen these players play well, but it's just not been quite there. Anyway, now going to OG. OG's definitely A tier for me. I just think his synergy that he has with UV is very good. And I don't know, this like most of the time I don't think of any reason why he shouldn't be there. We've seen him get kills when he needs to. We've seen his beats be good. His Brig. I don't have a single problem with OG, really. And his consistent play across both tournaments and qualifiers, I'm going to put him probably above Creative. Just because Creative has had a kind of a downturn this tournament cycle. Which is surprising to me, but... that's what happened, I guess. The stats look really bad for him. But that doesn't say the whole story, of course. But yeah. So now Ultraviolet. I'm thinking S tier for Ultraviolet right now. Because the things he does on BAP when he gets the chance to play it is insane. He legit makes BAP look like the best character in the game, probably. Yeah, his Ana is also crazy. He's landing the sleeps when he needs to. I think UV's been great. I'm going to put him below Vindame just because I think Vindame outclasses so many main supports that it like is a really big difference maker. And I like UV. I think he's really good. So, Faith. I'm going to put Faith a little bit below mid. I'm feeling a little subpar. Above Fixa? Probably not. I think this is where my Fixa hate kind of has to come to an end. I'm going to put him above Aim God, though. Faith is like, I don't know. It's super weird. It's main supports, right? But I haven't really... He's been kind of nothing to me. It's like, yeah, Faith is there, but that's it. That's as much as I'll give him. He is there. You have Crimzo, you have MCD when you need to play the flex support, so he's not even on that. I haven't seen a lot. I'm just gonna put him there. So Crimzo, I think, has been actually very good for Boston. I think I'm putting Crimzo in A tier. His Zenyatta gameplay was like kind of like the peak of Boston, and that's what they won their games off of, even though they didn't win a ton. That's what they won them off of. And he's kind of like made himself like the main focus of Boston. I think that says a lot about his gameplay and how he's been doing. So I think A tier is good, probably a little bit above these guys in B right now. We'll see if he can keep it up, but Zen is definitely his best hero. So if Zen falls out of the meta, like he probably will, it will hurt him a little bit. But as of right now, his Zen's been great, so I'm keeping him there. And so has MCD's Zen whenever he's coming to play the double flex support, because Crimzo's been able to flex over to the. Or wait, who's playing? No, never mind. I'm thinking differently. MCD's been in for not Zen. It's been Crimzo on the Zen the whole time. And I don't know. I'm not a huge MCD lover or enjoyer even. I'm thinking of below Fixa again. I'm putting Faith and MCD back here, actually. I think Crimzo's just like so much better. Like significantly better on the Zen. And in general. And MCD only fills the niche of playing with Crimzo beside Crimzo. And even then, it's not like he's going to go over to the Brig. So, or if he does, it's not very good. I don't quite remember if he did or not. But, no, I'll just put him there. Chio. So, Chio has been very good in the kickoff clash, right? Probably, I thought he was the best rookie main support. I thought he was better than Vindame in the kickoff clash. But after this stage, he has fallen a little bit because he hasn't been able to play the same, I don't know, like make the same plays that he was and be quite as concise as he was. But that's because Dallas as a whole kind of crumbled. I still think he's probably the best in NA. I'm going to put him above OG because, like, clearly his gameplay hasn't, like, fallen off a cliff, right? I thought he was really good, but what separates Vindame from him is that Vindame can flex over to the Zenyatta and play it extremely well. Chio has not been, right? It's been on that Moira Lucio backline basically the entire time. I think he's like played a little bit of the double flex support on like your Circle Royales and stuff. It hasn't looked great. It hasn't been like a spotlight for him. Still great as a main support, as a Lucio specifically, but past that, not as much. Fielder. Fielder's hard because he literally has been in Moira jail for some reason. Just inexplicably in Moira jail for a lot of maps. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And it really does hurt his value because it's Moira. And it's like, yeah, sure, he's a good Moira, but that only gets you so far. I'm going to put him above B tier just because of how good he was in the kickoff clash, right? It kind of evens out. But the impact he was having on his team, it is lowered because of the character they had him on a lot of the time. So I'm going to put him probably top of or bottom of A for now, below Crimzo, because Crimzo was making massive impact. No, I'll keep creative there. I was going to put Crimzo above creative for a second, but I was like, nah, I won't. Animo. So Animo is like textbook Lucio, right? Like this guy, like if there was a textbook about how to play Lucio, Animo is written in. He's writing about how you never go into the back line, you never go aggressive or whatever, right? He is sitting there on the floor, not even wall riding. He probably is. If there was a stat for lowest amount wall rided in Overwatch League, Animo like holds that stat by like multiple minutes, I think, above the next best. So with that, it's kind of weird because it actually works. because of how aggressive Sermajet is, and like, and I guess beside Ripple, it's not as good, but like, it's kind of worked. I think I haven't actually been a hater that much of Animo, and I'm still thinking C tier though. Like something about this Lucio like gameplay just it always like annoys me when I watch him, and like that's like a really bad reasoning, but I'm gonna put him above Fixa though. I might put him above Fairway. I don't know, something, it's like, he's just like on the floor all the time. It's like his beats are decent enough. He is kind of, I don't know if I want to say he's slower at building, that's what it feels like. I don't know if that's actually true, but it feels like he's a little bit slower. And it's just so different. It's so vastly different from so many other Lucios in the league, I feel like. It's very, like, jarring to see all these other Lucios, they're wall riding around. They're ducking under bullets and all that, and Animo's just, like, sitting in the back with a iPod on kind of thing. So C-tier, sure. Sermajed. Really good in the kickoff clash, not as strong in the Midseason Madness because of the playstyle shift, because of the meta shift. Looking like a... I still think he got a lot of value. I'm thinking above his Iyaki right now. I'm thinking right there. And that's because like the risk reward was still really good. But it wasn't as much to play off of because you don't hit the massive nades, right? Doing it on the Zenyatta, it's not the same. You have to hit those shots and you have to be the follow-up to your own like damage. And whereas if he was on the Ana doing it, which he was at times still, but not as much, you just throw out the nade, you die, and then your team can clean up. It's not quite the same now. So I like him there. But in a different meta, he goes higher. Rupel. So I think it was Rupel. I don't know why he's been playing over Sermajed. So I'm right off the bat, he's going below Sermajed. And it feels like he's been like there. Like he'll do what you want him to do, but he's not going to do much more, and he's not going to like carry your fights at all. I'm thinking it's kind of like looking at like someone else and see like Faraway, who will carry you fights but isn't there the whole time. It's like the opposite of that. It's like consistency, but you're not getting what you actually need all the time. I'm thinking I would take Faraway over Rupel right now. I'm thinking like right here. I'll put him above Fixa. Sure, I'm a Fixa hater. It's like Fixa has the mechanics, right? And I'm gonna keep using him as like a point because it's like he just has the bad decisions and it like costs Philly a lot of fights that their DPS in turn have to bail them out of, kind of. So I'm gonna put him there. I'm not huge on the Florida backline, but there it is. So Eurus now. Eurus has been good. For sure. But I'm thinking top of B right now. No, because it's hard because Houston has had one of the best double flex supports in the league, I would argue. Just because Lastro and Eurus, when playing together, on their like characters that I want to be on, is so good. Eurus has kind of been doing that the whole time. I'm going to put Eurus at Fielder level. Maybe a little bit above Fielder, just because Fielder is stuck in Moira jail. That's the only reason. So I'm going to put him there. And then Lastro, the Lucio gameplay is not where it needs to be. I still don't love him on the flex support, or on the main support with the Brig or the Lucio. The Brig's decent, I guess. But whenever he gets to play the Zen besides Eurus on BAP or whatever, or whichever, vice versa, mostly it is that order though. I'm gonna put him B tier because I still think his Lucio is not there. Actually, I'm gonna put him above Majed. But I can't rate him too highly on his one composition overall because he's not on that composition all the time. Ooh, you know who should be on this list? Backbone should be here. I think Backbone should be here because he's been on the Zen. That's funny. Okay, so I'm just going to rank Backbone now. His Zen is the only... Well, he can play Zen Break. Those are his two characters that he's going to play if he's on for support. And that's it. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, the flexibility isn't great, but normally you only need one of those two characters anywhere on the maps he's in, so it's not bad. And his Zenyatta has genuinely been very good. So I'm actually thinking, because of the wow, I'm actually thinking of putting him in mid. Now this is gonna, a lot of people are gonna be like, what? But like, his Zenyatta has actually been good. I remember Eichenwald, that's where he comes in most of the time. People just sit up on that castle defense and he will just shoot orbs at people and kill them. He was spawn camping OG basically. It's crazy. So I'll put Backbone there, but I actually am gonna put Landon above him still, or not Land. Well, yeah, Admiral first. Admiral, I like Admiral, but I don't think he is like a solid like a peak Lucio, and his brig slash Zen is like bad enough that Backbone, who has been good on it, but he shouldn't be good enough to justify putting in a DPS player instead, I think. So I'm gonna put Admiral above Lijiagon. Lijiagon's looking to go to C tier right now, I think, actually. So I'm gonna put him there. I think that's fair. Like, his Lucio's been solid, but like that's all. He's like beating around Hottie, like basically. But Landon, I've seen a lot of people say that Landon's the weaker of the two. I disagree a lot. I think Landon, whenever he comes in and he does play the Zen, which he was at the beginning, he was exceptional on it. I thought he was very good. And I really don't have a problem with Landon almost at all. So I'm thinking above Astro, honestly. I'm looking like right here. I don't know. Something about I don't think Landon deserves almost any slander. I think he's been solid. I can't really pick out anything where I'd be like, oh, he should have done better here. It's like maybe he's not like killing things as hard as you'd like, or like I don't know. His lamps have been solid. I think he's been playing the run composition solid. I think he's been solid in the ball stuff too. I think Landon's been fine. The only unfortunate thing here is that Backbone. I think Landon's best Flexiport might be Zen from what I've seen, from the limited amount I've seen. It might be fake. Maybe that's fake, because his could be his back. But it's between the two, and whatever it is, Backbone being better than Admiral on the Zen kind of like takes that away from him, even if it was. Because I remember on that first week when they were playing Poco Sigma more, his Zen was legit killing like 4 like turning fights. So very good there. Alright, so now we're on to the GOATs. The LA Gladiators, who probably have the best backline combined in the league. So Funny Astro is probably the best Lucio, right? And even though he's not in all the time because Skewed is in for the Brigitte and the double flex support, him on Lucio is like that big of a difference maker that it kind of like you don't want to take Gladiators to any map where they're able to play it, I think. So I'm thinking like I kind of just want to put them all in S tier. That might be a little too hard though. No, but he's like the best Lucio. I'm gonna put Funny Astro in S. The value he brings compared to any other Lucio is like kind of insane. And like I'd like to say, oh, if you're really S tier, then you wouldn't be benched as much. But like whenever you're getting benched for someone like Skewed, that doesn't really count. I feel like because he's that good. So I'm gonna put Funny Astro in S because I think he is that good at his character. So then Shu is literally going into the top of S because the things he does is insane. Even when he dies, which he does die, like I'm not going to say he doesn't die often. He does, but he's able to always hit a crucial sleep dart, hit a crucial anti, and he plays so well that it, like the value he gets doesn't matter, and he forces so many resources out from the enemy team that like that's what makes him so good. He's able to hit the key stuff, force out resources, and like just do so much. Just insane, and especially with how the Gladiators are able to trade backlines as well as they do. It's just crazy. So now Skewed has a very good brig and is a very solid flex support. I don't think I'm going to put him in S though. Like his flexibility makes him very good, but I'm thinking top of A. Like obviously he is a big reason why the Gladiators can function as they do, because they don't have to worry about, oh, it's my brig player can't play Zen or my brig player can't play BAP or whatever it is. But I don't know. I'm thinking I just like him there because like OG's probably better at what he's doing. Gio's probably better at what he's doing. Skewed provides a lot of value, but it's not like S tier value. He's complementing well, but he himself is not the star here, which is fine. Right, that's fine. So now Gangnam Jin. He's been very good, but also like New York kind of sucked. And whenever he's on the main support, it's not great. But whenever he's on the flex support, it's very good. So that's kind of the problem here. For the role he's playing, I actually don't rate it very highly. For the role he's playing, I'm actually going to rate him like low. Like if it was just the main support aspect, He's going below Fixa, like for sure. He might even go D tier if it's just the main support, to be honest with you. But because he's able to play the flex support, that's why I'm going to move him up a little bit. Because, like, really, he should never be on main support. The stuff he was doing on the flex support was insane. Like, his Zenyatta, like, almost got New York multiple match wins, even. Because he was that good in tandem with Yaki whenever they were able to play very well together. But when it doesn't work, and it doesn't work a lot. Now, Myungbong, however, I've not been impressed with Myungbong at all. I'm going to put him above Lengza, probably. No, actually, I'm not. I'm going to put him above Bebe. I think Myungbong's been not great even when on the double flex support, because he's been their primary flex support, and I think that's just because he's probably too ass at main support to play it. His game engine has been better for sure. I just don't see the hype with this guy. It's hard to defend him at all anymore, and they even picked up another flex support because of him, I would say. So Ho1 hasn't played yet, but he will be this stage, probably, I would assume. And looking at this team, if it is a Brig Lucio meta, they have exactly 0 Brig Lucio players between three supports. So I don't know what they're doing. That New York make no sense. Just an absolute failure on their end to like manage the flex supports or the supports in general. Sure. So now Druidro, I've actually not been a big hater of Druidro. I know people are like, oh, Paris' backline are just too bad, but I actually don't think it's the backline. I think it's the DPS and the tank positionings more than the backline. That being said, it is hard for them to really succeed whenever what's in front of them is not very good. Because Khan has looked pretty good on the Ana, on the Zen, whatever he wants to be on. I actually don't think it's been that bad. And I think Druidro has been fine as well on the Lucio or the Brig or whatever it is. I think I like them both. I think I'm gonna package them together and put them above Animo, is what I'm thinking right now. Probably like this. I don't know. I think they've been solid. Like not like even average, because I said they're solid, but I put them in C tier. But that's just because what people in front of them are able to do. It's just unfortunate because they can't provide as much value as they maybe could because of their team in front of them. That's just how it goes. It's hard to rate how good they are. I'm looking at this and maybe I will put them higher. It can't be above Izayaki. It can't be above Admiral. Could it be above Li Zhegan? Probably not. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work out, unfortunately. But this kind of goes to show how, like... No, I'm putting them in B tier. I don't even care. I'm putting them in B. They're going right here. Right there. With Molly. Who's going up here even? I'm doing this. Yep, makes sense to me. Okay, so Violet and Finn. The Violet Lucio has actually gotten a lot better as they've gone on. And they're still an incredibly talented like flex support backline together. One thing that I don't know if any of you saw it, but the thing where Custa was reviewing the game and they saw Violet like just bash into the open and basically cost shock Dorado or their Dorado first hold. That was very tragic. But that was like that was a total mistake, right? That was not like a decision he made. So that was very unfortunate. But I still think he's like it's like Iris Lastro, but better across both fronts. I'm gonna put Violet. I'm gonna put Violet above Landon, I think. No, I'm gonna put him above Lastro. Landon's better than that, I think. I like him there. Just because he is also playing the main support. Based on what he's done. Now Finn. I'm gonna put Finn above Skewed. For sure. Now above OG or Chio, and even into S tier. There is a lot of conversation to consider if Finn deserves S tier. I still think he does. Yeah, he's kind of... Yeah, I think he does. I'm going to put him below Funny Astro, though, and just leave him right there. Because the thing about Finn is he's so good, and he's doing so much for Shock. And like you can say, oh, he's kind of made some fumbles in the tournaments that has hurt them, but it's like so have everyone on Shock, and so is everyone on this list, right? They've all made fumbles, except for like Shu. He's built different. I think what he puts in so consistently at such a high level, he's going to go S tier, even if he's like messing up sometimes. Like, I don't know. There's some Finn haters, there's some Finn enjoyers. I'm more of a Finn enjoyer, so I'm gonna put him S tier. But he is slowly creeping down the ladder a little bit. So now Charon and Twilight from team mid. B is like way higher than maybe it should be. I might have to like move this around a little bit. So Charon, I think Charon's been very good. I think his main support has been great. I think he's been great even when he's had to go on the double flex support. The Toronto backline has just carried some maps. I'm actually going to put Charon above creative, I think, right now. Because I simply don't have a problem with anything he's doing. He's been extremely solid. It's just that Toronto as a team hasn't, and it's definitely not on him. I think if you ever look at Toronto and say, have they lost this because of Charon? I think that's just untrue. Like, it's just not a true statement. It's not been said. I think it's been solid. And now you have Twilight, who I think he has been good, but I'm expecting a bit more from Twilight. I'm expecting like S tier from Twilight going into the season, and right now what I'm getting is like B tier. I'm thinking like we're getting maybe top of B. Honestly, I'm gonna put Monk above him. I think is what I think we're getting from Twilight right now. Yeah, he has the highest sleeps per 10, but he also has the most sleeps thrown per 10. So it's like, okay, he should have the highest per 10 then, just because he's just tossing them. I'm expecting more from Twilight. He can definitely do more. We've seen it, but right now in this current like game, like we've seen times where Toronto are like going up, and Twilight is playing very aggressively, and he's setting up the dives well. But that's not all the time. That's just at his peak. And at his peak, if he was doing that every time, he'd go easily S or A tier, right? But he's not. So that's why he's there. So now looking at the Vancouver troubled backline of Aztec, Skyripa, and Masa, I'm going to start with Aztec. I think Aztec's been really bad. I know people can say, oh, his Zenyatta's look good, but that's the only time it's looked good. And even then, they're not winning with it. So what can you really say? I'm going to put him... I'll put him above Mike Bongbong, sure. But I don't know. We can point to his Zen plays all you want. I don't think they are that much different from some of the other Zens we're seeing. Like Faraway can do that and better, and like even Aim God can do that and better. It's like, yeah, he's looking good, but we're kind of taking pity on him by saying, yeah, you're doing so well on the Zenyatta, but like literally every other Zen in the league could do exactly what he's been doing. It's not spectacular. Then I'm going to go to Skyripa because he is the one playing the flex support mostly. I think he's pretty bad too, I'm going to be honest. Like, I would rather have Aim God, I think. Straight up. I'll put him above Langza, I guess. But I just have not been impressed by Skyripa at all. He is still dying a lot. He's not really getting that much value out of his resources, I feel like. He's just not pulling his weight. I think he's not pulling his weight. And even Masa, I thought Masa has been playing a bit better than most people are going to give him credit for. I'll put him above Faith even. But I'll do. But I'm not putting him any further than that. He is Masa. I was a Masa hater 2 seasons ago, then I was a Masa believer last season, and now I'm gone back to being a Masa hater kind of, but also like semi-believer, if that makes any sense at all. It's just not there. Like, he's not like trolling, and he's a main support on a bad team. That's just going to be the story the entire time. But he's not going crazy. He's not changing the outcome of the fights, right? He'll do what he has to do. He'll miss some beats every now and then. It's whatever. 3-2-1 speed. He'll go into Nom and just die. Whatever. It's Lucio on a bad team, so he'll go there. Now Vigilante, Krillin, and Opener. This is a very hard team to rate because I think all of these players have shown incredible individual talent, but it's just not doing anything as an actual team. So starting with Opener, because he's the main support, even though Krillin was on it for some reason. Nobody can understand that one. I think Opener is better than Animo, and he's at the top of C, so I'm thinking above Liege Gone for Opener. I think this is a bit fair. Because, like, I'm not going to put him above... last year or Violet because they're playing all right Lucio or Brig or whatever, and then they can bring the double whammy with the flex support. But he's definitely not like been trolling either. I don't think his beats have been bad. I don't think his positioning's been bad. He's been solid, I think. And I think if Washington was a better team as a whole, he would go higher. But right now, it's hard to see. So I'll put him there. And now Krillin. Krillin was playing spectacular before Vigilante came. Then he was on, like, beside Vigilante playing Lucio and Brig. And his double flex support is good, but it's not been the same that I've wanted from him after his kickoff clash performance. I'm actually going to put him... Because he was on the Lucio, it's actually hard because like him playing that Lucio at all is gonna tank him a lot. It's gonna perma tank him. I'm thinking of putting him just because he was so good in that first tournament though. Kind of hard. I think opener has been a bit better overall. I'm just gonna put him right with opener, I think. I don't know. It's hard because I was thinking, oh, I could put him up by like Izayaki, but at the same time, I can't. And then Vigilante, he's looked good in his few games that he's played, but I don't think he's been like a lot of people said he would come in and be like an S tier or an A tier player. I'm not seeing that just yet. As he sinks into the team, I can see it. I'll put him. I'm just gonna stick all the Washington guys together. I don't know. It's kind of hard. It is a little bit hard. I'm just gonna stick him right here. It's kind of a cop-out, I guess, just putting them all in B. Because there is just way too much in B right now. Something's got to change. So if I was to change a little bit, it'd probably be like this to here. What does this look like? If I move this up a bit now. And if I move Condridro, even Lige gone. Oh, but now B's doesn't have enough. Okay, where does this list really split? Can I? Maybe it is still like this. Yeah, I'm looking like this right now. Yup. So I'm gonna put some of those APAC, the Chengdu and Hangzhou team. I'll put them in A because I do think their backlines have been very solid, but that's like it. So I think I'll do it like this. The bell curve looks a little weird, but whatever. So yeah, give me one more go over. I think this is fair. I think Twilight in A is like kind of fair. He hasn't been bad, but he hasn't been like he's not a standout flex support right now, but he's been all right, and that's kind of what we expected when her Twilight came there. So that's why I think he's okay here and not mid. This looks pretty good to me. Let me know your thoughts, and I will put my kickoff clash ones below this real quick, and then we can just compare. All right, so here is my comparison with the kickoff clash rankings compared to the Midseason Madness ones. We've seen the only person that dropped, like the only switches are Chio and Funny Astro from A to S in the S tier, but it gets I definitely put some more in A tier, and that's from me putting the monk and below there. But I think that's a fair statement to say overall. It's like maybe you could put a bit of a split there, but I don't think it's that dramatic. But yeah, that's gonna be my support rankings for the Midseason Madness. So let me know your thoughts. Like this video if you like it, subscribe for more daily Overwatch League content. MVP should be out. Defiant Conversation should be out soon. So take a look at that. And thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a good one. Deuces.